What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date and keep you informed with everything that the government does. And we seem to be a corporate press debunking channel, if you will, because that's what we're constantly having to do. We're constantly have to counter the narrative of the corporate press machine, the mainstream narrative machine, as I so love to call them. Now, as you could see by the thumbnail, yes, we had some bombshell testimony come out about this whole hush money trial. He falsified business records. Yes, that whole thing. So this is just great. But for anybody who's not necessarily up to date, what I'm going to do right quick is I'm going to ram through a story talking about, David Cohen and his testimony from today. So check this out. Trump's lawyers cite Cohen's insults to undercut his credibility. Now, right off top, we already know that his credibility is absolutely shot at this point. But as you'll see from this testimony that's going to come up here in a minute, holy hell, y'all, this is outright insanity, what is going on in this hush money trial. This one is going to fall apart, and Michael Cohen is going to go back to jail. That is right. Check it out, though. Donald Trump's lawyers sought to undermine the credibility of his former fixer, Michael Cohen, today at the Republican presidential candidate's criminal hush money trial, highlighting his past record of lying and statements celebrating Trump's legal troubles. Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, played jurors audio clips of Cohen saying, "The case fills me with delight," and that he felt giddy with hope and laughter, imagining Trump and his family in prison. "Does the outcome of this trial affect you personally?" Blanche asked. Cohen said yes. Blanche told jurors that Cohen had lied to Congress and to the U.S. Justice Department investigators about Trump's ties to Russia, and also had lied in court when pleading guilty to tax violations. He pointed out that Cohen had privately sought a pardon from Trump while publicly saying he would not accept one. Cohen agreed that he blamed others, including Trump, in the wake of his own criminal convictions on tax and campaign finance charges. Cohen maintained his composure while answering questions, in contrast to his aggressive and often profane public comments. Yeah, in case you haven't seen some of his TikToks, yeah, Michael Cohen's deranged. He's got the worst case outside of MSNBC anchors. He's got the worst case of Trump derangement syndrome I've seen it in a while. Blanche's questions suggested Cohen could face another long day on the stand as the defense seeks to cast him as a spiteful turncoat eager to see his former boss behind bars. Cohen, 57, testified earlier this week that Trump ordered him to pay porn star Stormy Daniels $130,000 in 2016 to protect Trump's presidential campaign. Blanche noted in cross-examination on Tuesday that Cohen had called his former boss a dictator douchebag and other insults on podcasts and in social media posts. Trump has pleaded not guilty in the first criminal trial of a former U.S. president and denies having sexual encounter. The New York case, one of 4 criminal prosecutions he faces, is likely to be the only one with a jury verdict before his November 5th election rematch with Democratic President Joe Biden. Cohen testified earlier this week that he and Trump discussed a plan to reimburse Cohen for the payout through a series of bogus invoices for legal fees. Their chats included one in the White House Oval Office when Trump was president in 2017, Cohen said. Trump, 77, faces 34 counts of falsifying business records in New York to cover up a payment to the porn star in the run-up to the 2016 presidential election. Prosecutors say the altered records covered up election law and tax law violations, since the money was essentially an unreported contribution to Trump's campaign. That elevated the crime from misdemeanors to felonies punishable by up to 4 years in prison. Now, we all know that is outright bogus. That is completely bogus. He didn't use campaign to pay this money out. We know that came from his personal account. So that is the corporate press lying to you right there. We know that the FEC and the DOJ both looked into this and said there's no crime. Everything looks fine. We know that to be a fact. So that's why everybody is up in arms over this case. And I've said, as far as the trying to cover up all this, trying to hide the money trail on this, why? None of this was illegal. Everybody already knew about the Stormy Daniels stuff before the presidential election. We knew about that. So why would they try to hide this? It doesn't make any sense. I postulated that the other day on a video when I was talking about this. Why would they commit a crime to cover up something that is not a crime? That makes no logical sense. So there's something fishy going on here. You know, Cohen testifying that Trump said he was going to pay him back. Well,
through further cross-examination, Cohen told me that he knew there was money missing from the Trump inauguration.
Yes. I see where you are now. Thank you.
Okay. And then on the next page, into that first paragraph, Cohen decided that while he didn't believe the allegation of the Stormy Daniels story, that he thought the story would be embarrassing for Trump and especially for Melania, so he decided he would take care of it himself.
Absolutely. And that is contrary to what this guy testified to in court in New York yesterday. I specifically asked him, because he kept on going back saying, I can't believe they're trying to put me in jail for these NDAs. So I said, Michael, tell me about the NDA. Tell me about Stormy Daniels. What did you do? He said, I got a call from a lawyer representing Stormy Daniels who represented that she was going to testify that Donald Trump had sex with Stormy Daniels. Michael Cohen said, I didn't believe the allegation, but I knew that such an allegation would be terribly embarrassing. He said it would be embarrassing. He focused on Melania Trump. He said, I didn't want to embarrass Melania Trump. He said, that's why I decided to take care of this on my own. Right. I went back to that several times. You did this on your own? On my own. Did Donald Trump have anything to do with it? No. Did you get the money from Donald Trump? No. From any of his organizations? No. From anybody connected to Donald Trump? No. Where did you get the money? I took out a HELOC loan against my property. I said, why would you do that? He said, I didn't want anybody to know where I got this money. I didn't want Melania to know. I didn't want my own wife to know because she's in charge, he said, of the Cohen family finances. He said, if she saw money coming out of my account, she'd ask me 100 questions, and I didn't want to answer any of them. It was clear after talking to him for several days after that, whenever we talked on the phone or in my office, that he kept on bringing up the subject that he felt he was betrayed by not being brought down to Washington, D.C. This guy thought, he said to me, that he should have been Attorney General of the United States, or at least the chief assistant to the president. Ludicrous, but that's what he thought. And he was very angry about that. He wanted to do something to put himself back into the inner circle of Donald Trump. That's why he took care of this on his own. There had to be a motivation. Michael Cohen is always working for things that benefit himself. And that's what he was doing here. That's completely different to what he said that he told the grand jury. That's completely different to what he's testifying to in New York.
So Bob Costello, who was testifying to Congress under oath, okay, so somebody here is lying. Now, let's work through this logically right quick. Okay, so Bob Costello, a former lawyer for Michael Cohen, doesn't seem to like Trump all that much, but, you know, doesn't seem to dislike him, but, you know, he's kind of meh, if you will. So we've got this guy testifying under oath to Congress, you know, under penalty of perjury, by the way. So is Michael Cohen. This is why I say he's going to go to jail, because if Bob Costello's story is true, which, why would he intentionally lie to Congress under penalty of perjury? Gotta make you wonder why he would lie for no apparent gain. Like, can anybody leave me a comment down below if you can see any reason for this guy to lie? Why? Why would he go to Congress and lie about this? So I'm going to take his word for it, and I'm going to base my logic off of this guy's testimony to Congress being true. Now, this absolutely blows apart the case, because Michael Cohen is testifying to the Supreme Court in New York in this hush money trial that he conversed with Donald Trump about paying him back. Hang on. Bob Costello testifies that Michael Cohen did this of his own accord, knowing that the allegations from Stormy Daniels was false, or he believed them to be false. Now, we don't know if he really had sex with her or not. From her testimony, it makes me believe that no, she's trying to get a whole separate thing out of this. She's trying to go the E. Jean Carroll route, right? Like when Bill Maher actually debunked that.
And first I asked her why she had sex with Trump. Listen to that, and then listen to what she says after that, and then we're going to talk about the trial, because it's quite at variance of what she said to me in 2018. Why did you Donald Trump?
I have no idea.
Okay, but you say it's not a Me Too case.
It is not a Me Too case. I mean, I wasn't assaulted. I wasn't attacked or raped or coerced or blackmailed. They tried to shove me in the Me Too box to further their own agenda. And first of all, I didn't want any part of that because it's not the truth, and I'm not a victim in that regard.
That's not what she's saying now. She's talking about he was bigger and blocking the way. It's all the Me Too buzzwords. She said there was a power imbalance of power, for sure. My hands were shaking so hard. She said she blacked out. Blacked out? She's a porn star. I don't think sex...
That doesn't mean she's been subjected to the likes of Donald Trump. I might black out too.
Do you really think she blacked out? I mean, a porn star is used to having sex with people she does not know. That's the job. It's kind of like Stormy Bob Stormy.
But not to get derailed with all that BS right quick. But so Michael Cohen is absolutely lying. He went out of his way to get this done, to suck up to Donald Trump because he wanted to be, some in the staff somewhere, a cabinet member. He wanted to be something like that. And when Trump told him no, what does he do? He turns tail and goes right against his boss. Now he's lying to the New York court because these people, I don't know what's actually going to happen. Like, how is this going to be handled? Because it's almost a guarantee that Michael Cohen is lying about this. The case already didn't have any case, if you will. There's no proof of anything, any wrongdoing on Trump's part. Michael Cohen testified that he falsified the business records, right? You can't blame Trump for that. Now that we have this Bob Costello testimony, I'm totally convinced. I had some slight doubts, maybe so, maybe not. I was pretty sure that Trump didn't have nothing to do with this, and now Bob Costello is coming out under penalty of perjury, right? Saying that Michael Cohen did this of his own accord. That is bombshell testimony if I've ever heard any bombshell testimony. This blows this case right apart. It doesn't make any sense for this thing to continue. I'm not sure how this is going to be handled. Is this testimony of Bob Costello going to get into the court? I'm sure it will. I'm sure the news is going to cover it, but hang on. I haven't seen anything in the corporate press about this yet, but I'm sure we will see something because you can't hide this. There's no way you can just overlook this, right? Like, you can't just sweep this under the rug. This is out there. So they're going to have to report on this. And once again, this blows this case apart like a damn nuke done dropped on this case. We had all kind of congressmen show up today. Matt Gaetz, one of my favorite congressmen, was there. Oh, and there was a story about that too. As a matter of fact, check this out. Matt Gaetz evokes standing by language adopted by Proud Boys as he attends court with Donald Trump. So here we go with the corporate press narrative. They're just running in. Oh, he's a far-right racist. He's a Proud Boy. He's using their language. Oh, you better watch out. Oh, evil Republicans. This is just great, y'all. I love this. How the corporate narrative machine just whinges. They just, anytime they get some crap blown up in their freaking face, they just whinge, and now they gotta take it and say, Matt Gaetz is a racist, y'all. He's using racist tropes by saying, I'm standing by, boss. What? Like, this dude was there in support of Donald Trump because this criminal case is outright BS. I just proved it just a few minutes ago. As a matter of fact, it was several minutes ago for me because I had to pause, go take a leak. Sorry. I know. TMI. Sorry. Let's keep going. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz has evoked language adopted by the far-right Proud Boys extremist group as he supports Donald Trump at his New York hush money trial. Gaetz posted a social media photo of him with other congressional Republicans standing behind Trump outside the courtroom Thursday and wrote, "Standing back and standing by, Mr. President." The Proud Boys have used that verbiage since Trump said Proud Boys stand back and stand by during a 2020 campaign debate when asked if he would condemn white supremacists and militia groups that had shown up at social justice protests. Notice they said asked to condemn, when he outright did condemn the white supremacists and the neo-Nazis. There were good people on both sides, hoax, if you remember that. So yeah, he did condemn white supremacists. Donald Trump isn't a white supremacist. Donald Trump isn't a racist. He's proven that time and time again, but the corporate press, the mainstream narrative machine, has to push the racist thing because they don't have anything else. They absolutely have nothing else. So they see a statement and they're gonna latch onto that, and then they're gonna bring up some old BS and try to throw as much salt on this thing as they can. But guess what, y'all? This thing has done bursted out the seams and has been proven outright, at least in my opinion, to be a complete sham. These people should be ashamed of themselves if they are not arrested or at least disbarred. This judge, the prosecutor, Alvin Bragg, disbarred at minimum, if not criminally prosecuted, for bringing this case when they knew damn good and well there was nothing here, that Trump absolutely done nothing wrong. They should be charged with election interference, and they should all go to jail, in my opinion. But it wasn't only Matt Gaetz that was there. It was Anna Paulina Luna, Lauren Boebert, Bob Good, had several congressmen. And that was in contrast to the day before when we had Byron Donalds, Vivek Ramaswamy, Corey Mills, and others. They had a couple other people there, right? Just absolutely supporting Donald Trump because everybody knows, anybody who has looked at this, for God, CNN has even said this thing is BS. What are we doing here, y'all? But I think I've rambled on for long enough. Y'all saw the bombshell testimony. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.